Hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games, and today we're going to play some Vintage. So what we're going to do is we're going to register this HollowVine Vengevine deck that focuses around using the power of Bazaar of Baghdad to discard Blazing Rootwalla and Basking Rootwalla in order to trigger the activated ability of Vengevine, trigger the triggered ability of Vengevine, which allows it to come back from the graveyard for free. It is a hasty 4/3, which allows us to put pressure on our opponent's life total from very early in the game. Additionally, we have HollowVine as another threat that can be cast for free after activating a Bazaar due to meeting its cost reduction condition. We have a bunch of interaction for our opponents in the form of Force of Negations, Mindbreak Traps, Force of Wills, and Force of Vigors, as well as Mental Misstep, and potentially even Noxious Revival, Chalice of the Void, and Wastelands and Strip Mine. Game 1, we're just going to try and control the game a little bit while getting a fast clock, hopefully ending the game very quickly. Post-board, our post-board game focuses heavily on winning the Dredge matchup. Furies are for things like Bowmaster or Hullbreacher, or anything that might stop us from Bazaaring, as well as all the white initiative things. Same with Pyrokinesis, although this one is an instant. We have 2 Karakas in order to help us fight against the Oath matchup, and Petrified Field and Ghost Quarter allow us to try and fight the Mirror. So, we'll see how this goes. See you round 1. Hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games, and we're here for round 1 of this Vintage Challenge. We did lose the die roll. We do prefer to be on the play, but we'll see how it goes. Ideally, we do not play. I think our worst matchup is the Dredge matchup, so we are hoping to dodge that. Our first hand is kind of an interesting one. We do have Mindbreak Trap. We have a Force of Vigor. We have a Wasteland and a Bazaar. Having the Bazaar means that it is automatically a keep, but it seems like we have 2 halves that need to still come together. So we are certainly keeping this hand. If it's the Mirror, we have Wasteland. We have Wasteland out Tabernacle. We should get at least 1 Bazaar activation without getting Hullbreachered, or we're going to keep. Ooh, that's not good for us. Alright, that's Crucible Worlds. I don't think we want to destroy that, but that is bad news for us, because that means our Bazaar of Baghdad is probably not long for this world. Alright, go ahead and activate Bazaar. Vengevine, you know what? Right on time. It does cut us off of having Force of Vigor, but I think getting a clock into play is pretty important. Unfortunate, we also don't get to discard this Squee this turn, but again, I think just having the hasty 4/3 is very important. I would love to cast it. Cast my other one. Triggered my Vengevine. Bring it back. Alright. Go to combat. A space attack face. Alright, this is what we've got, opponent. We have a Mental Misstep and a Mindbreak Trap to interact with, which is not the best against shops. I would have preferred to keep either of those green cards for Force of Vigor. but I feel like we just absolutely had to get a clock going. Opponent is now facing down a 3-turn clock. See what they play. If they Wasteland our Bazaar, we still can't Wasteland their workshop unless we draw a green card. If we draw a green card, we can consider Wastelanding their workshop. Oh, man. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Alright, so good news is, it looks like we stand a pretty good chance if we do draw a green card. Alright, let's go ahead and Bazaar. Drew a green card. Don't want to... yes, we can get it for free, but I don't think we want that one for free. So I'm going to discard these 3. We are going to go ahead and Wasteland, target Mishra's Workshop. We're going to go to combat. Attack for 6 before we play our hollow one. Then after combat, we will play our hollow one for free. Since we have discarded 3 cards, it costs 6 less, since it naturally only costs 5. One cool trick we have available to us is that, besides the fact we're about to pop Saga and Crucible, which just feels amazing, is that even if they had a Sphere in play and made hollow one cost 6, it would still be free, because its cost is reduced by 6. Alright, we got game 1. So, obviously we're against shops. I want to bring in this Ghost Quarter. I want to bring in this Petrified Field. Don't think I want this Chalice of the Void. Not on the draw, for sure. I don't think I really need access to Fury. Misstep is famously bad, though. Karakas can do something against Golos, but I'm not sure I want to get to that stage in the game. Misstep pitches to my blue cards. Huh. I might keep it just to hit a Soul Ring or a Surgical or something. They didn't show me any of the aggro shop stuff, otherwise I'd be keeping in this Fury, although I guess aggro shops is the most popular version. But yeah, we'll keep in a Fury over a Mental Misstep. Sucks to lose 2 Vengevines, but I think, and the Ghost Quarter, but I think we're gonna powder this one. Powder. Oh look, another Bazaar Wasteland, and this one has a Force. I'm gonna keep this one. This one's the opposite side of the deck, where we try and control with Squeeze. Mishra's Workshop, what's your big thing you're playing? A 3-ball. I would like for you to go send that off to hell. Thank you. Appreciate. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will. Do you also have Force of Will? Opponent did not also have Force of Will. I specifically wanted to use Force of Negation because I wanted to send that to the Exile Zone. Now the question is, do we Wasteland them or do we Bazaar? I think we want to Bazaar while the Bazaaring's good. Draw 2, discard 3. Squee. Master of Death. I don't want to quite discard 3 Squees, just in case they do have Surgical. We don't really have any way to play around that. And I don't want them to see it any more tempting than it already might appear to them. Let's see if not Wastelanding them was incorrect. Because we had the option. Joker. Alright, well that can't name lands, so that's pretty much fine. Means that they might be the aggro shops version, though. Also means that double Bazaar of Baghdad with 4 Squee effects might be kind of nuts. because we can just build up to one big turn. So I think I will Wasteland them off Workshop next turn. Especially if they Ghost Quarter me. If they're trying to name Bazaar, they're going to have a bad time because Phyrexian Revoker, I double checked, it's non-land. Sorry, double check real quick, make sure we're still recording. Sure. Basking Rootwalla is technically an activated ability in my deck. Okay, opponent is going to go ahead and do that. I don't care about shuffling. If we had mulliganed, where I'd put cards on bottom, we might have considered that. We're going to put all those on the stack. We're going to always yes to Squee. And always yield to Squee. I thought I said always yes. Alright, cool. I'm not going to always yes to this one, because it might kill us, so... Alright. I am going to Wasteland here, since their only pressure is a 2-1. And I'll go for Bazaar next turn. Maybe we should have saved that for Tabernacle, but I think personally that was fine. Ancient Tomb is much less than 2. Another Revoker is fine. I'm not even going to counter that. Are you going to name Blazing Rootwalla next? Get one on each. And I'm a sidekick over here. Alright, so we will take the 2 damage. Alright. Unfortunately, opponent, I have another one. So we're going to play this Bazaar and activate and see what we get. So our 2 draws are another Bazaar and a Force of Negation, which is hot. Now we're going to discard 3 Squees and get those back. We're drawing to either a Force of Vigor or a oh, it looks like their Ancient Tomb is their only land source, which might be great. We do have double force here. Oh no, they do have 4 mana. What do you got for me on it? Crucible of War. I'd prefer you put that into the exile zone, please. Alright, so the opponent did just take 4 damage to cast that Crucible, which we countered. Thought I always yes to these. Always yes. Alright, draw. Hey look, it's the Force of Vigor I asked for Christmas. So we're just going to activate this Bazaar. Discard. I think it's fine to discard Vengevine and hope for a different... Yeah. We're going to discard Vengevine, Blazing Rootwalla, Squee. We're going to bring back Blazing Rootwalla. Then we're going to cast HollowVine. No. I think we're going to activate second Bazaar first. Fish for more Vengevines. Hit the green cards. It's not more Vengevines, but it's still pretty good. So 1, 2. And I have to discard one of these Noxious Revivals and then pitch the other one to have Force Up. That's fine. Alright, let's cast this. Trigger Vengevine. Always yes. Yield. Bring it back. Alright, so now we're contesting their board to the point where I don't even think I'm going to Force of Vigor these little Phyrexians. I think I'm going to save this Force of Vigor in case they play something bigger, and if they don't, then we will probably... I guess I could have Noxious Revivaled something... I could have Force of Vigored these and then Noxious Revivaled it to make it their draw. That might have been the play. Because we can agree they're terrible draws, and it would have taken them 2 life to be able to cast. But having double Ancient Tomb and no Workshop means that Wasteland on Workshop early was definitely looking to be the correct play. These Ancient Tombs have done 6 damage to my opponent, I believe. And I've done 4. The good news is we have Force of Vigor or Force of Will. Alright, cool. So that can just resolve. The opponent might be kicking themselves that they thought I had Force of Will, which I did. But don't worry, opponent. I've got this wonderful Force of Vigor. Oh, you have Tabby. Very nice, very nice, very nice. So we're definitely going to have to answer that. Which might mean that we just don't Force of Vigor right now. Okay. I'm good on that. So currently we're losing all our creatures, which is fine. I'm going to put those beneath the returning Squeeze, because I want to return Squeeze first. Yep. 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 Cannot afford to pay that. Cannot afford to pay that. The price is too high for me. Now, I think I'm going to Noxious Revival, put Wasteland on top of my library. Pay 2 life. Draw for turn. Oh look, it's a Wasteland. Activate Bazaar. Squee, Squee, Squee. Activate Bazaar. If I bring back, if I pitch double Rootwalla, I don't get to Force of Vigor the Karn this turn. I think that's fine. So yeah, we're gonna pitch double Rootwalla and Master of Death. Cast with Madness. Cast with Madness. Yes. And then we're just gonna pass the turn, make them pay for their creatures. And then use this double force to help protect. So I don't know what they're gonna pay for. They can pay for 1 for free with the Mox Jet. Every creature after that costs them a ton. Okay, opponent's paying for all their stuff. Do what you got, opponent. You're at 4 life. Your own Wasteland, that's fine. Any one of my Bazaars, that's also fine. That's just to stem the bleeding for what you know's coming next turn. I would like to destroy your Tabernacle, please. I'm going to return my Squeeze. They're free. I will return my Master of Death, even though it costs me 1 life. Let's draw to a green card. Hey, we hit the green card. It is Vengevine. I don't think that matters. So 1, 2, 3. So I guess I just opt 2 of these with Force of Vigor and then go wild next turn. That seems fine. Cast a free Blazing Rootwalla during our cleanup step. Technically, I think it's back during our end step, but that's, you know, whatever. I think we maneuvered this game to a pretty strong position. questionable on letting the Karn resolve, but especially because it cost us a couple turns of attacking, but I think it worked out okay. Alright, during the end step, we're going to go ahead and cast this Force of Vigor. I think I just want to take some of their creatures off the board, so I'm just going to hit those two. Alright, we won the match. So we're going 1-0 in this vintage challenge. I'll see you all for round 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please leave a comment down below if you saw a way that we could have played that game better. Alex with Luxac Games. See you next round. Hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games, winning die rolls and hopefully winning games. This hand's absolutely nuts. We'll go ahead and keep this 7 on Bazaar of Baghdad. With a Vengevine, we can bring back on turn 1 a Wasteland and a Mindbreak Trap Force of Will combo. Jesus. Chancellor of the Annex. Opponent. Do you have any idea how rude it is that our first spell is going to get countered? I'm going to make sure our first spell is a Basking Rootwalla then, not this hollow one. I think 2 Vengevines on turn 1 is just the best thing we can do. So we're going to cast this. It's going to get countered, but it's been cast. I'm sure I can't pay 1. And then I'm going to cast this hollow one. We're going to bring back both these Vengevines, and we're going to hope that this turn 1 double Vengevine hollow one Force of Will Wasteland draw is good enough. God, this deck feels insane. So I own all the cards for this deck in paper, except for the Bazaar of Baghdad. So I might be able to borrow those for Eternal Weekend, which is why I'm practicing this deck. Alright, opponent, we have lethal on board on turn 1. Soul Ring. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Can't play Cavern, so I'm not that worried about it. Yep. I would like to counter your Thalia. Alright, we won the first game. Sick. So, our opponent's on mono white initiative. You can tell because they Chancellored us and then played a Thalia. They're gonna... let's see. They're gonna try and tabby us, almost certainly. Is there anything else that we need to worry about? Karakas could be good for bouncing Thalia out of play. This could be good for fighting their Wasteland effects, because they probably are playing the full 5. I don't think we want Ghost Quarter. I don't think we want Chalice of the Void. I don't think we want Mental Misstep. I think we do want these Furies, though. And Pyrokinesis. Maybe we don't want the Petrified Field. Want the Force of Vigor. I get greedy and trim them down to have more interaction with their creatures. No. I can't just do that. Instead, I'll cut these Mindbreak Traps that are less likely to be. As you can saw, they did play 3 artifacts that turn to play out their creatures, so they can be good. As a matter of fact, I think they're better than... oh, well, I know. I'll split them. 2 and 2. 2 Force of Negation, 2 Mindbreak Traps. Let's go. From my perspective, they're mostly all just combinations of various situational counterspells. Mindbreak Trap's better the first turn, where they're trying to potentially combo out a creature. And Force of Negation's almost never good, so... except turn 1 when they're trying to combo out a creature. Difference is Force of Negation prevents the creature, Mindbreak Trap tries to hit the creature. So it all depends on what you think is good. I thought splitting the difference was... see how we do. Opponent's still doing a little post-board tanking on if they're going to play or not. I assume they put themselves on the play. A little bit of a bummer to get rid of a Fury here, along with 2 red cards. But we have to powder this one away. This one's just a regular mulligan. This one's a keep. And I think my bottom has to be the Force of Will, just because I have no blue card to pair it with. Alright, opponent, please do not hurt me too badly. They did keep a 7, so they might hurt me too badly, but we'll see. Ruby's good. See, this is where Mindbreak Trap would be turned on right now. Even through Cavern of Souls, Mindbreak Trap would be turned on. Grafdigger's Cage is resolved. I think we go for Force of Vigor on... I mean, blue just always feels like the more useful one, huh? I think I'm going to get rid of the Vengevine. I want to keep this Noxious Revival. Alright, opponent, do you have an answer to our Force of Vigor? Does not seem like it. Alright, so I was considering getting greedy and just wastelanding their cavern. Drawing Hollow One feels like I should try and get that on the board. And just start contesting. So let's draw. Draw 2, discard 3. See what our 2 is. Hopefully find more Hollow Ones. Those are probably our best draws. Basking Rootwalla is great because it's a free discard. Pyrokinesis, and I guess another Noxious Revival. Madness it back. And then we'll cast Hollow One, and hope that our 5 power is going to be decent enough. Do we put Grafdigger's Cage on top with Noxious Revival? Because we plan on winning the game with this 5 power? Maybe? I'll think about it. Giving them back one of their better cards. 5 power is a lot, though. I'm giving them back Grafdigger's Cage. Here you go, opponent. You're welcome. That's fine. Now play out the cage I gave you. Thank you. I'm now going to wasteland you off Cavern of Souls and try and beat you down over the next 4 turns. Let's see if we get there. Secret Karakas is great. We get to play out the Karakas as a mana-producing land in case they have Tabernacle on any turn except for this one. Okay, now do we just hold it? I think I want them to wasteland it because, again, they need mana-producing lands to win this game. We're already hitting them for 5 a turn. 2 more hits and we win the game. What have you got, opponent? No white mana, that's for sure. I have a Karakas, you jealous? Hopefully putting that Grafdigger's Cage on top put them 1 turn away from getting to their white mana. It does look like they are missing on it again, so hit them for 5 damage again. Decent draw. If we find another Bazaar, we get to Slam another hollow one into play, which is another 4/4. Opponent's pausing at the beginning of combat. Maybe they're thinking about Wastelanding Karakas. Maybe they're hoping I miss my declare attacker step. I have no idea. Alright, hit him for 5. Lethal on board now. Ooh, Solitude. Alright, sure. Not as lethal on board. Take 1. A Solitude pitched. White Plume Adventure. Probably not the card they wanted to pitch. That's a very castable 3-drop. Bazaar right now is amazing. Master of Death. Okay. So I'm going to continue on the I'm going to hit you for 1 plan. And you've now got 8 turns, opponent. Solituding is one of the better things they could do. Yep. Yep. It's also one of the better things they can do. Now we kind of have to find a Bazaar or a Wasteland. It's pretty good. Now if we find a Bazaar, we get a 4/4 hollow one in play, and they are at 8. Another Karakas. Let's go ahead and play that one out. Not nearly as pretty as the first one we played. Jealous that we've now drawn 2 white sources, opponent. That is a white source. I would have forced that if I could have. I'd Force of Vigor it if I could. Alright, sick. We at least have Force up now. Force of Negation, which isn't great, but if they do have to use this pedal to cast a non-creature spell, we're snapping off this master, this Force Pitching Master. Interesting. Ancient Tomb and still nothing to cast. Alright. Vengevine. Not super good with the Grafdigger's Cage in play, but not the end of the world. We're definitely playing Magic still. Trying to draw a card that's worth considering, because they've been passing through their turns drawing nothing pretty quickly. From Moxen. So they already had 4 mana. I don't know what they could have at 5 that they didn't already have at 4, so they can have that, sure. Yep. 100% was just bait. Sick. Double hollow one is really, really good when they're at 8. But we do have to draw one of our Bazaars or a Noxious Revival. Containment Priest is pretty good, but again, we're planning on casting these hollow ones, so it's not that big of a deal. In for 2. Alright. Noxious Revival. Bazaar is what we're drawing to. We do have we have a fair amount of turns. We still have 10 turns. We only have 1 Bazaar out of our deck. I think we have a pretty good chance of hitting it. Another Ancient Tomb from the opponent. It's us for 2. Noxious Revival is exactly the draw I've been asking for, so sick. We'll go ahead and do that at the end of our opponent's turn. So, I'll see you later, Squee. I want to do it on their turn, so I have Force of Negation up in case they have Surgical in response. Hey, they hit their own Karakas. And a Pearl, sure. Can I cast a Big Area? Nope. Looks like all you've got is this little 2/2. Oh, you're going for something. Seasoned Dungeoneer. That's protection from creatures. I mean, yes. Noxious Revival, targeting Bazaar of Baghdad. I would love to return. I would love to activate this Bazaar of Baghdad. Couple Force of Vigor. Okay. So Vengevine can't come back this turn, but it can come back next turn. Cast HollowVine. Cast HollowVine. It won't return because of how Grafdigger's Cage works. Then we'll pass turn. Make them pay. And then we'll decide what we're doing from there. I'm feeling like we're probably Force of Vigoring this Grafdigger's Cage. Yep, opponent's gonna try and trap us down. Putting it on the Seasoned Dungeoneer, sure. The opponent attacks. No attacks would be great for us, I think. Not sure. What we're drawing towards is getting a Fury right now. So if we're drawing towards a Fury, we want maximum cards in hand. We're gonna hit this and this, pitching that. Hope you don't mind. Perfect. Good news, you won't have to pay for your creatures anymore. Bad news, neither will I. I'd love to return these two things to my hand. That's a reasonably okay draw. What we really want to hit is Fury here. Did not find it in this one. We get another swing at it. Cast this. Activate again. Show me Fury. That's not Fury. So the opponent can not block one of these if they want, but I think that they're going to block on each. Opponent is going to give us the initiative. Okay. I couldn't find one. I checked twice. No basic land, sorry. Alright, so I took the initiative now. Now it's your turn. Have to attack in, because you can't let me trap you. I guess you can technically not attack in this turn, but I think you should attack in. Okay, that's a good attack. Moxjet almost certainly is going to get milled. It's a tight game. Too legit to quit. It's definitely really good with this mono-white initiative deck. Has protection from creatures, unfortunately. So now they trap us. But if they don't play another creature, they just die because we trap them. No, we don't trap them. We only get to forge. Alright, so Seasoned Engineer getting pro creatures is real bad for us. So I think we want these back. We hit the Fury. Turn late. So we start by casting the Fury. And then we have 2 Bazaar activations to hit absolutely any Rootwalla to kill our opponent. Seems incredible. I like to deal all 4 to that one. Activate Bazaar. Hit it on the first one. Sick. I would absolutely love to cast my Rootwalla. Go ahead and bring back Vengevine. Good game, opponent. So we are now 2-0 in this vintage challenge with HollowVine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next round. Peace. Hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games. Here for round 3 of the Vintage Challenge. I am starting a little bit late because I didn't realize that I was off doing other things. Didn't realize that we had started. This hand's perfectly reasonable. We're going to keep. Another mono white matchup. Alright, cool. Let's start with the Bazaar of Baghdad. Force is great, so we're going to discard Vengevine, Master of Death, because we want to save this Blazing Rootwalla to try and pair with another creature. And that still leaves us with Force plus Mindbreak Trap, which is a pretty good start. But having Wasteland is also a pretty good start. Chrome Mox. I'd prefer that you didn't. Go ahead. They still have Mindbreak Trap. I'm hoping to get them on 3 spells here. 2. Alright, we got him. We got him, boys. They thought the shields were down. Boom. Get out of here, Thalia. Alright, our new win condition is the Monocrypt on the opponent's side of the field. Let's draw a Bazaar right now. Hollow one. Not the best. We're going to save this Wasteland in hand, because we can discard this Blazing Rootwalla to get a 1/1. White Plume. Nice. Good one from the opponent. Basically means we have to draw a Bazaar pretty quickly here, because they're putting us on the initiative clock. He's not quite what we're looking for. We probably have 1 turn to draw Noxious Revival or Bazaar. I'm sorry, 2 turns to draw Noxious. 1 turn to draw Noxious Revival or Bazaar. 1 turn just to draw. 2 turns to draw just Bazaar. Dauntless Dismantle and another Wasteland. Oof. Alright, so this is probably the one where we have to draw it right here. Going to Wasteland their Wasteland, then I'm going to pass the turn. Although I believe that we go now to 1 and are probably dead. I'm still going to take 1 more draw towards Bazaar of Baghdad. As predicted, though, we're a little bit too slow. Of note, if we had just waited and Mindbreak Trapped, let those both resolve, and Mindbreak Trapped the Thalia, we actually would have been able to Mindbreak Trap again. So maybe that's the way that should have gone. Alright. Again, this gets a little harder for us post-board, but we're going to try it. I'm going to actually believe in the power of Mindbreak Trap this time, because we saw how it went. And step like that. Oh, put in the wrong Karakas. Definitely got to fix that. Very important. I would love to be on the play. This hand seems very keepable. Alright, this time we're going to go ahead and pop the Chancellor Bubble, which we should have with the Rootwalla. I just didn't think of it last time. But this time we're going to pop it right away with the Rootwalla. Because then we also would have had Force. Yeah, there's a couple misplays I made that last game for sure. But hopefully we make them up this game. Oh my god. I'm conceding the game because I have that misclick. I said no to casting the Rootwalla. Alright, sorry guys. I'll see you for round 4. Hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games, about to start round 4 of this vintage challenge. Gonna try and shake off that absolutely horrendous misplay that cost us the last match, and hopefully we don't do that again. So let's see who we pair against for round 4 of this vintage challenge. Alright, 416 Founding Table, we got another Wasteland Bazaar Force hand. Force Fury hand this time. This one's definitely a keeper. Let's see if our opponent makes us battle for it. Basic Island Soul Ring. I'm willing to battle over a Soul Ring. Gets an artifact off the table, gets 2 mana off the table. I'm down with that. Basking Rootwalla there was great. Now we get to get a turn 1 Vengevine. Yield, always yield. Always yes. Cast. Not going to make the same mistake twice. That no button is forbidden in this league. Again, last round we just thought that we were saying no to a Chancellor trigger. We didn't realize that we were not casting the Rootwalla, as we would have absolutely cast the Rootwalla and returned Vengevine. Alright, Frowning Table. What's your follow-up play now that I've Force of Negation your Soul Ring? Got there eventually. Leyline revealed. Top's fine. Bulk. We'll be wastelanding that almost immediately. I say almost because we're going to activate Bazaar first. Just see, I'm not sure about this play, opponent, because now I'm going to activate my Bazaar and try and hit Force of Will to try and stop this. I'm not going to get there, but that's fine. We're going to discard these 3 Serum Powders. Force of Vigor's not bad. Wasteland them off Volcanic Island. Hit him for another 6 damage. Down to 10. Pass the turn. Force of Vigor and Force of Negation both seem very good in this matchup. The Sensei's Dividing Top Ancestral Recall matchup. The Fury, not so much. But we'll see. Opponent's debating on whether or not they're supposed to spin during upkeep. Decided against it, took a natural draw instead. Alright, so we're going to tank for a second on this Mox Pearl, and then we're going to let it resolve. That's fine. We're going to let that resolve immediately. So we're going to hope he doesn't follow it up, or they don't follow it up with Academy Tinker. That'd be annoying. Okay. Not quite enough to PO yet, which is good. A little bit of a bummer that we hit 3 Serum Powders and none of our 8 Squee effects. Alright, so this time we're just going to take a draw. That was a very good draw. We're going to take a hit via these. Opponent is representing potential nasty Bomasty, so I'm just going to pass the turn. Opponent never took down Bowmaster because they still have the jet. Alright, opponent's looking at the top 3. If they tap out a Bowmaster, I'll use this Bazaar, but if they don't, we're not in any rush to, since we already have quite a bit of power in play. See what our opponent comes up with. This is likely the last turn cycle of the game one way or the other, but not necessarily. Master Death is a great draw. Alright, opponent, provide me with a blocker. Hull Breacher. Okay, that has to trade with the Vengevine. Yeah, that's fine. Take 2, go to 1, turn off your fetch land. Sick. Post combat, activate Bazaar. Fetch, you die? Question mark. Okay, Fury's bad. Fury, Master of Death, Mindbreak Trap. Good to me. And during their upkeep, I think we Force of Vigor away their 2 mana sources to put them down just to 2 lands. Bing, bing, bing. I assume they'll respin with the top, but that's fine. I guess not. They already expected that. Saga's cool, but kind of slow. Opponent needs to produce 2 blockers currently. Alright, couldn't do it. Alright. They had Hull Breacher, so we want this Pyrokinesis. Do we think that there's a chance that they have something else that could stop us? Chalice is great. I think we want Fury to kill their Hull Breachers, but the fact that they have Flash means that we likely just want the Pyrokinesis. Misstep's fine, Trap's fine, Powder's fine, Vigor's great. Alright, I think as long as we don't get Hull Breachered, we're going to be in a pretty good spot, so let's give it a shot. If we do, though, maybe we do want the Furies. I'm not sure. Someone more experienced with the deck would probably be able to tell me. In fact, since I don't think they're going to be able to destroy our Bazaar of Baghdad's, I am going to go ahead and swap out 2 Noxious Revivals for 2 Furies. We'll see if that ends up making me look silly or like a champion. Alright, opponent, would you like to take the play? Looks like I'm going to take a Powder. Boom. Another Powder. Boom. This one's a Bizarre Wasteland Chalice hand. This one's a keep. Powdered away 14 cards. Found exactly what we needed. Sounds great. But I'm probably taking a second to look through what we have. Sure. Do we even care about that this game? Not with the cards we have now, but maybe if we draw Force of Vigor, or sorry, not Force of I'm going to go ahead and Force of Vigor. Pop there too then. Like, I don't even care that much about Leyline, but I might as well try and get rid of it. Show me if you care about it, opponent. No, apparently not. Alright, let's go ahead and activate. Alright, we're just going to put 3 power into play and try and lock our opponent out of the game from there. His yield. Like to cast. 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 Alright, opponent, your turn now. Opponent grabs an Underground Sea. Casts a Vamp. Pretty powerful. Although fetching a non-basic while I look at triple Wasteland does make me feel pretty awesome. Like, even if they go grab a Tabernacle, I don't care. Like, I probably would Wasteland the Underground Sea before I Wastelanded the Tabernacle. Opponent and I both have 3 cards left in hand. Yeah, that's fine. Nope, nope. Nope, nope. Also nope. Alright, let's draw our card. Squee means we activate Bazaar immediately. Blazing. I feel like with only 2 cards in hand, we can discard Mindbreak Trap. So we are going to cast it, play a Wasteland, and we're going to hit the Underground Sea. Alright, go ahead, opponent. Managed to kill our Rootwalla again. Saga's a good one. We're going to Wasteland that one too. We're going to get our Squee back first. Then we're going to kill our creature. And draw a card. We're going to discard our 3 Squee effects. Play a Wasteland. Land the Urza Saga. Pass the turn. Alright, well now the opponent has no land, so that's got to be kind of unfortunate. So we're going to always yes, yield, yes. And we're going to always yield, and then yes to that one. So we're going to activate this. Discard, Squee, Squee, Squee. Play a Wasteland, pass the turn. Alright, I would be in full tilt if I was the opponent, seeing the Wasteland. Like, seriously, you'd just have it all. Saga's good. Manifold Key is also good, but we're going to send that to the Misstep realm. Alright, good game, opponent. So we probably won this with the next few cards that we drew. Especially with them being Bazaar, HollowVine, Vengevine. Oh my god, yes. So we likely won this game with our next 2 Bazaar activations, especially because we don't Wasteland the Tabby yet, but we definitely Wasteland it next turn. So thank you everyone for tuning in. See, I can play Magic, just was able to bring it back this next match. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Or see you next round. Peace. Alright, hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games. Here for the next round of this vintage challenge. Let's see what we got. Waiting on Wing Tatar to decide whether or not they want to play. Again, would be shocked if they decided to be on the draw. Waiting on the opponent. I'll come back. Alright. We're here. Luris. Playing against Luris deck. Alright. We're gonna keep our hand. It's not super strong because of the Serum Powder. It's super strong because of the double Bazaar of Baghdad. Ooh, opponent leads on a Wasteland. Drawing another Serum Powder isn't exactly what we were looking for, so we're going to activate this. Alright, so it's Vengevine, Serum Powder, Blazing Rootwalla, because I do want to keep the Master of Death to have access to Force. Go ahead and cast that. Go ahead and cast that. Bring back Vengevine. Ooh, forcing my hollow one. I think that's fine. Yes, I would love to use Vengevine. I'll attack for 4. Wasteland me, baby. Island cycling. Alright, cool. That's fine. Tundra has entered the revealed card zone. Yes, it has. Sure. I don't have that anymore. Or at least that one. I think I am going to Noxious Revival this hollow one to the top of my library. See what they have to say about that. Misstep. Sure. We're definitely not fighting over Misstep. Since we're ahead, I think I am just going to go ahead and strip mine them. Alright, opponent, you're at 10. 2-turn clock. Another Wasteland. Pretty glad I didn't play Bazaar now. Towards my dude. No cards in hand means that I'm definitely going to force this. Play a Bazaar. Activate Bazaar. Discard Blazing Rootwalla, Master of Death, Serum Powder. Not hitting that no button ever again. Hate that it even exists. Alright, opponent. You're down to the last 5 life points that you are given. And I have a misstep to help counter a 1-drop like another sword. Okay, bobble means you're not dead yet. Opponent peeked at their own top card to see if it was the swords and if it was worth conceding. I can appreciate that, opponent. Alright, so the opponent's a Luris Dag. Probably something Tinker related. No idea. I'm bringing Karakas. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna want to have access to mana sources. I'm gonna want to have access to Fury. I feel like I want access to these Mindbreak Traps too, but I'll trim on them. And I definitely don't want to go down Surgical Leyline for a Luris deck. So we'll try it like this. Bazaar Wasteland is a keep, I think. Delta Black Lotus, sure. Lavinia, huh? That was only 2 spells cast this turn. Okay. We're on the only cast creatures plan. I think since this Lavinia is a slow enough clock, I'm just gonna literally Wasteland them off of their 1 Tundra. Alright, go ahead, opponent. You have Lavinia. Alright, they did have another land. See what we draw into. Second Bazaar is pretty good. We're going to discard a Vengevine, Master of Death, and a Powder here. We can still, we can't cast this Misstep, because even though technically we control one land, we won't be paying mana for it. Alright. Would love to bring it back to my hand. Draw. Play out second Bazaar, activate. Discard Vengevine, Master of Death, Blazing Rootwalla. Cast it. Gets countered, but that's fine because the important part is that it got cast. 1, 2, 3. Cast this one too. Trigger the 2 in the graveyard. Always yes, always yield. Alright, this is what we got, opponent. I have 8 hasty power I'm going to try and kill you with. I hope it's good enough. Oh, getting some action. Is this a swords? I'll take 4 hasty power. I'm not greedy. I am not greedy, opponent. Alright, let's find out what horrible 3-drop this is. Maybe I'm just lucky and it's like a Teferi. Lures to hand, that's fine. Activate Bazaar. Serum Powder. I want to activate this again before they get up to... Found a Squee for my trouble. The Wasteland. Alright, opponent. You're at 9. Go. I will say this Lavinia has been certainly very powerful, but I definitely don't think it was the lights out my opponent was expecting. Still chipping in for their damage, though. Ooh, and that Wasteland was very good because our opponent did not have another land. So, yes, we'll take this. We'll take all the extra cards. We just want to try and put more Vengevines into play. Okay, Hollow One's not as good as it looks because of the Lavinia. We're still going to activate both these anyways. Look for another Wasteland or something. Pyrokinesis, again, looks cute, but can't actually kill Lavinia. Force of Vigor, Pyrokinesis, Force of Negation. Sure, probably discard the Master. Sorry, I was slightly distracted. I'd love to use Path to Exile's ability, but I can't. Well, that's going to control my Bazaars a little bit. That mean I don't bring back the other Master of Death? Let's see what we got here. 2 Squees? Maybe. I'm going to go ahead and use these 2. And I'm not going to use the Master of Death. Hit another Wasteland. I say, let's go. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. And then we just pass the turn. The reason why I didn't discard that Basking Rootwalla is it's going to be basically our only way to get another Vengevine going with these 2 hollow ones. I want to be able to get Vengevine going twice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just take the 2 Squees again, and then leave the 2 Masters. Oh, good on those. Another hollow one, Vengevine, Vengevine, Vengevine. Rootwalla, huh? Not one I can cast though, unfortunately. I can play this Chalice, it'll just get countered. Alright, let's pass end step. Got these 2 forces. Our hand's set up if we just find the Vengevines, that's for sure. We basically have 1 turn to find them though. Alright, let's go. I would love to use Squee's ability, and I would love even more if I could find 2 Vengevines to hit my opponent down to 1. Non-creature spells? Counter that spell if no mana is spent to counter. I'm not going to spend mana to cast my Fury, sadly. Maybe opponent casts a spell. That one doesn't care if it's creatures. Alright, so let's go ahead and discard Squee, Squee, Noxious. And then we're going to go to our end step. Discard double Blazing Rootwalla. They'll get countered, unfortunately. Ironically, if the opponent played a sphere effect of some sort, we'd be able to actually potentially cast these, the Fury. But since we can't, we might as well just get this. Alright, hit us to 4, opponent. Saga was also a great draw. Alright, Bazaar. Counting on you here. Yes, use Squee. Yes, use Squee. No to both Masters, because we don't want to lose the life associated with it. Activate my Bazaar. Alright, well, we're not technically dead yet. We, however, are dead starting our next turn. So, we did our best to fight through this. Let's see if we can just find a Vengevine. Or 2. If we find 2, we get to attack with 1, which is kind of cool. Alright, we're at 2. They can't get Black Lotus off this Urza Saga because they already used Black Lotus. Squeeze. 1 Masters. Draw. 2 Vengevines right now. 0 Vengevines. Alright, we have died. We're not even going to discard. We're going to concede before and go immediately to our next game. Alright, so Fury, kind of the right read. Karakas, though, baby. That's the kind of action that we need. Chalice on the play. Seems hot enough that I'm interested. And I'm going to cut the Fury just because it does not kill Lavinia. I would like to play first, yes. This hand seems perfectly acceptable, so we're going to keep it. Gonna rearrange it a little bit. This is going to go to the discard. Serum Powder is always getting discarded, probably with whatever 2 cards we draw. If what we draw is way good and we want to keep it, we can discard a Noxious Revival instead. But we're always keeping this Chalice of the Void. Half my opponent's mana base are 0 mana artifacts, so start with the Bazaar, activate it. See how bad it is for our opponent. Not that bad. I do want to keep Wasteland. Looks like these are our 3 discards. Okay. Alright, opponent. There's our Chalice for 0. What have you got now? Wasteland is pretty good. I give you that. I forgot to cast my Hollow one. That was a real big punt. Even set him to the side. Alright. I'm actually not going to play this Wasteland, but I am planning on Wastelanding them. Turn's good. Turn means I can't Wasteland them immediately or they'll go get an island. Cannot believe I forgot to cast the Hollow one. For the record, 3 turns now. They would have been on the final turn and 2 more turns for lethal damage. Cannot believe I forgot to cast Hollow one. Oh my god. What a punt. Strip Mine's pretty good. Strip Mine gives me a good target for my Wasteland, so I'm going to take it. Another Bazaar, another Noxious are all really good draws. Looks like we're just going to kind of stare at each other for a minute. Maybe not. Do you have a game action, opponent? Yeah. This is 4 turns out of the 5 that would have been lethal. So, yeah. Not sure what I was thinking on not casting the Hollow one. Just totally moved my hand around and forgot it existed, I guess. Sure, that's a Tundra. That's Lorien revealed. I've already been taught how bad that card is for me. I would like to fight. I would like to continue to fight, please. I don't deserve to draw Bazaar, but I really want to. Bazaar, Hollow one. Just mocking me that we would have already had the game over by now. God, I'm sorry everyone that's watching this. If we can still somehow make it out of this. 3rd island means they now have Loris on board. They just didn't feel like playing it? Question mark, question mark. Force of Vigor's interaction, but I think we've just lost. We lost because I didn't play Hollow one-on-one. Alright, alright. Are you saying there might be some justice left in the world? Needle's fine, because we can Force of Vigor that shit. I'm actually just going to take a draw. Okay. I can discard Squee or Vengevine here for free. Oh. That's fine. Guess the card I discard is Squee. I still have these two hollow ones. Not the end of the world for me. Fine. Jigs up, I guess. Noxious Revival, target my Bazaar of Baghdad. Here's my hand. I have no Fury left in my deck. I have a Pyrokinesis I can draw to. That's pretty cool. I have the red source in my grave already. I'm going to concede before they even put the Lurrus on the stacked. Really disappointed that I didn't cast the Hollow one on one. We would have won that game on that basis. It's unfortunate. I'm so sorry for that massive misplay, but I've definitely learned, and half the reason why I do these videos is so that I can learn from them later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex here with Luxac Games, and I'll see ya because I'm playing that last round. Hello everyone out there in the Luxac Legion. Alex here with Luxac Games. And we're here for the last round of this event. Really sucks to have punted 2 rounds away to misplace, because we definitely would have won that last one if we had just cast the Fury. So let's try to not punt away this time. If we can, that'd be great. We're gonna have to mulligan again. Still no Bazaar. We have had pretty lucky hands as far as we've had a lot of 7 keeps. So let's go ahead and mulligan. The dial switches more from interaction to speed as you mulligan down, but you can recover pretty quick from a mulligan thanks to the Squee effects. As soon as we get the opportunity, we will take the mulligan. And hopefully through the magic of editing, we're back. Ouch, still having to go deeper. Cards. 3-card hand. Alright, we are on the play. This is our 3-card hand. Activate Bazaar. Did we get there anyways? Kind of. Turn's gonna go full tilt if we cast, if this would have been a hollow one. Unfortunately, we're not quite that Luxac today. If we had the hollow one though, man, wouldn't that be incredible? Okay, we're gonna be racing against that Saga that's gonna be trying to trigger and kill us. And 1 power just ain't enough. So next turn probably looks like activate both these, just try to mill some Squee effects. Hit them for 1 and then hopefully beat this Saga. Because we get 1 turn after that. And then the Saga probably grabs something like a Soul Guide Lantern that's real freaking annoying. We do still have 7 Rootwalla effects though. And if we get really lucky off this first Bazaar activation, oh my dear god. Let's see what we get. As a Black Mox, I'd have played the second Bazaar to play around. Alright, so we're going to just discard these 3. Play this one, activate it right away. We could hit 2 Rootwallas is why. Show me 2 Rootwallas, that'd be great. No complaint about Blazing Rootwallas or Basking Rootwalla. Show them to me. Ah, there's the hollow one. There's another Vengevine. So next turn, if we do hit, it's pretty bad for our opponent. So since we don't get to keep a card in our hand anyway, since none of those milled over a Squee effect, I think what we do is double activate Bazaar during our upkeep. Okay, so they are a workshop deck. Let's see what you got here. One Ring is protection. That's not great news for us. I'm still going to try and get these guys into play, though, if possible. Lucky for the opponent, they'll get to make 1 construct on the way out. I forgot to activate this during my upkeep. Even said I was going to do it and then totally didn't. Hit the Rootwalla though. So that would have actually hit off of that. So we just need to hit 1 more Rootwalla and we get to bring these guys back. Absolutely going to cast it. Try to make mistakes only once. Our ideal draws off this Bazaar would be the last Vengevine and a Rootwalla. Bunch tanking on this Rootwalla. Activate again. Oh my god, we hit another Rootwalla. This was on a Mole 2-3. I'm not saying we're winning this, but I am saying that we're certainly more alive than we were a second ago. I understand they have protection. I just want to hit them for the moral victory, okay? So, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. We can hit them to 3. But we're F6ing because we obviously have no cards in hand, no other effects that we can do. Still didn't discard any Squeeze, which is kind of crazy since we're through a quarter of our deck at this point, but it is what it is. Mana Vault looks like they're just going to try and combo kill us here. Mana Crypt. Paradoxical outcome? No. Key Vault? Coveted Jewels to draw 3. That's not great for us. Although if we get to attack them, that is great for us. That would very much shock me. The cool thing is, it doesn't say that we have to damage them to steal the jewel, just attack them. So if they play another One Ring, we still steal the jewel. And with them down 3 minutes on clock, I think we're going to go ahead and let them kill us. We'll see if it even matters. This is definitely our first taste of jewel shops. It is definitely a prominent deck. Okay, they started doing game action. That game action should kill us if they just show me Vault. I'm going to be a good vintage player and concede, even though my opponent is very, 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 very slow. And technically, I'm not dead yet because of the One Ring. I'm willing to believe that they can kill me. So I actually don't know what we change here. So I'm going to take out the Fury, bring in a Ghost Quarter, and hit submit deck. I think this is a fine matchup if we just don't mulligan to an Oblivion. Alright, let's try and get a Bazaar a little bit faster. Bazaar in 7. Looks great. We're going to remember to cast the Hollow one. We're going to hopefully draw into a Vengevine to go with this, and we got a Squee. This hand's looking much better than how our last game went. Sadways. Alright, so since I don't have a Force of Will effect, I will go ahead and discard. I think I want to save this Blazing Rootwalla for getting a Vengevine, but I definitely want to get the Hollow one on the battlefield. Yep, that happens. That happens too. Anything else, opponent? Was that your whole plan? Seems pretty good. Soul Ring's pretty good. Sphere's pretty good, but unfortunately you've triggered my Mindbreak Trap. And I'm going to take out your 2 mana source on top of it. I'm going to get all these back. We played a game where we didn't return Master every time. This is not that game. We will be returning Master probably every time. Let's see if we can out-card advantage jewel shops. Bazaar. Ooh, Wasteland, you say. For the same reasons before, I'm actually not gonna... Oh, if I put him in now, it doesn't make a difference in clock. But if I keep one of these Master of Deaths, I can Hold up Force. I think that's worth it. So, go ahead and cast this. Play this Wasteland. Destroy their Ancient Tomb. Pop them for 4 and pass to it. Dog is pretty good. Dog into top is also pretty good. Get back our 2 cards. Activate Bazaar. Hey, look, there's double Vengevine. And unfortunately, because I didn't save the blue Rootwalla, I can't quite bring those back. So we are actually just going to go ahead and discard those 3. Save the Vengevines as a little surprise. After all, we only need 1 of them to be lethal. So 1 plus a Basking Rootwalla, 1 plus a Hollow one. We got a couple options. Opponent's got a couple Urza Sagas is what they got. Get all these cards back, 3 extra cards every turn. Why this deck is busted. Here's our Blazing Rootwalla. Activate Bazaar. Discard Vengevine. Rootwalla. Rootwalla. Go ahead and cast the first one. Alright. I didn't realize that we would be able to put 2 creatures on the stack, which kills them. Now we have to win on the draw. So this Chalice won't be as good on the draw, but I think it's still good enough to keep. I didn't see any creatures to kill. I didn't see a reason to surgical them. Yeah. Let's just hope being a Force of Vigor deck is good enough. Have the Chalice, but don't have a Bazaar. Cannot keep this one even with a Force of Will. It's mulligan. One has a Bazaar, so we're going to keep. I think I will get rid of 1 of the Basking Rootwallas. Ring resolves. If you have another Trinisphere draw, that would be really frustrating upon it. Did. This time you didn't play 3 spells first, so we're going to go ahead and Force of Negation that. Noxious Revival. Okay. Start by activating this Bazaar, see if we get any Vengevines. We do. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and cast our Basking Rootwalla. Cast our Hollow one, trigger our Vengevine. I'd love to bring back my hasty creature. Back you. Go ahead, opponent. You floating. Grim Monolith, sure. I feel like you're building up to a jewel. Needle's fine. I just have to draw Force of Vigor if I want to. Yep. Hopefully they just pass and I can Wasteland this Ancient Tomb. Ooh. Sure. Outcome. Nice. That's pretty good for the opponent. And we won the match. Sick. Opponent realized that they put themselves to dead on board with only the ability to replace some mana. So, again, it really cost us on the 2 matches we lost being to misplays, meaning we potentially could have gone undefeated. But thank you so much for everyone that stuck it out with me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends. Thanks so much for tuning in. Alex here with Luxac Games. Peace.